So I wanted to start with this technique that I discovered last winter. I don't know if it's actually called the Montessori jacket flip, but that's what I'm calling it. So I discovered this last winter, and my first thought was, this is genius. And my second thought was, I have to bring this to App Camp. I have to show the people here, because it really exemplifies what a lot of us are trying to do. So, a lot of you are parents. I think you know dressing a young child is sort of like dressing an octopus with their limbs struggling, and the parents trying to put on the jacket, and 9 times out of 10, after 15 minutes of struggle, it ends up in tears. So, this winter, my friend from New York came by, and they do this every day in New York, and she said, okay, Nina, it's time to go now. Let's put on your jacket. And she proceeded to do this.
Oops.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, you did it all by yourself.
Wow. Do you want me to play that?
You dive?
So basically, the parent puts the jacket down, positioned in a certain way with the hood facing the child puts the arms in and flips it over their head. So, for an adult, this is not intuitive. You wouldn't think of this necessarily. But apparently, Montessori kids in Montessori schools around the world, that's how they put their jacket on. And I just loved it because it was a technique that was designed so that the child could do something on their own. And like this little girl, I've been spreading this around to everyone I know that has a toddler, and every video that they send me, the kid at the end is saying, I can do it. So I just love this because it's really about, it exemplifies what we're all trying to do in this room. So we're trying to design experiences for kids that empower them, make them feel successful. So I thought you guys would appreciate that. Just quick background on who we are for those of you who don't know. We started the company when the App Store was just getting started. My husband and I founded Duck Duck Goose, and we started with a Wheels on the Bus app because that was our child's favorite song. And since then, we've created 21 different titles. So after creating 20 paid apps, we had a profitable business, it was good business, but we saw how the paid app market was collapsing. So in the last year, we've spent a year in research and development on a new platform called Wonderbox. And it's it's built around this idea of curiosity and having kids discover anything that they're interested in, learn about it, and then do something active with it. And so, for you guys today, I just wanted to take you through our thought process and our design process, how we started to think about how do you create a content platform where the content can be fresh every single day, and then also a communication platform for kids. So it wasn't a trivial design problem. So you guys probably understand to design a communication in a safe way for kids. So wanted to take you through that. Also just wanted to acknowledge my team. We're a small, lean team, but I am just so grateful to have had the opportunity to work with them. And they're not only obviously very talented, but the passion for kids shines through in each and every one. So turning to Wonderbox. Came from 2 main observations. The first was that we were looking at how teachers were using our apps in the classroom. So we don't have a big sales force, but a lot of our apps our biggest growth was in the classroom. And we're trying to figure out what are teachers doing with our apps in the classroom. And the vast majority of teachers were using our apps to have kids show their thinking and demonstrate their learning. They were doing this in very engaging projects. So, for example, they were using our Draw and Tell app where you can make your own movies and record your own voice to do diagram math problems and then create animations that would animate the word problems across different subjects. So they were using Chatterpix, which is a simple app where you take a picture and then you can make anything talk. They were using that to develop fluency and reading fluency. So practice reading with feelings, like making the character read some passage out loud, or doing some writing and having the child to narrate their own writing. And then across social studies, they were making everybody from George Washington to Martin Luther King talk, and just really bringing these social studies lessons to life. And in science, they were talking about water cycles bugs and different animal parts and getting their dioramas to talk. So then, in addition to the inspiration from the classroom, what we also realized was that in this day and age, there's so much really juicy, inspiring educational content that's available on the internet, but it's really difficult for kids to find what's most relevant and meaningful to them. So let's say, for example, you're interested in sea lions. Google, you get this, and there's a lot of great content, but some of it may not be relevant for kids. It's hard for a 6 or 8-year-old to sift through all of that information, even though there's like really spectacular information and images and there's Google Street View where you can actually see what the sea lions look like underwater in the Galapagos. So we began thinking, what if there was a way for kids to be able to explore anything they're interested in, whether it's sea lions or George Washington, and then create a project around that topic. And so that's really what we were seeing teachers spend a lot of time doing, creating these projects, but we thought, in homes and families, what if children could do this? And so that was the genesis for Wonderbox, which has 3 main components. The first is allowing kids to explore any topic that they're interested in, and then create something awesome, state-of-the-art, interactive multimedia tools, and then share their creations in a safe environment. And so specifically how we did this was on the Explore side, we created over 3,000 interactive projects and videos and with a team of educators, so a core team of 6 educators that we worked with. And we integrated with YouTube, Google Maps, and Vimeo. But again, we had the educators curate this content and pick out kind of best in class what would be relevant for kids of this age. And then on the creation side, we have a lot of multimedia creative tools, take a picture, a video, and all of that. And then on the communication side, we had a safe way for kids to be able to send what they made to their parent and also to other friends and relatives that they know in the real world. So this was the process that we, like with all of our other apps, we tested a lot. We did a lot of play testing and kid testing. We tested, I think, over hundreds of concepts with hundreds of kids. And they really ranged. There were many different ways to explore topics. In terms of what kids would want to create, we tooled with, like, they could create their own news report on the topic, or they could create their own newspaper. And like a lot of these are failed ideas. So kids actually didn't really know what a magazine or a newspaper was for the most part, and didn't really want to spend a lot of time writing it. In terms of a news report, we thought it'd be so cool if you could have a picture of a moon and a kid would be reporting on the moon. But it turns out that a lot of the kids didn't really want to have the camera on their face and doing a news report like that. So these are just examples of something that failed along the way. We tried scavenger hunts, so integrating with Google Maps and Google Street View and trying to see, discover different things along the way. We would teach them things about different locations that had its limitations too. And so as we designed this app, we put teachers into the app, literally. So these are our 6 teachers that we work with daily that create the content for us, find the best in class content, make the projects, because they're really the ones that know what resonates with the kids and what would be sort of age appropriate for them. And we came up with an idea of a project or lesson. So let's say that you're interested in octopi. So you'd be able to take a look at all of these videos from YouTube. And we also will create an introductory video.
The octopus is an amazing invertebrate. They can change the color of their skin, shoot clouds of ink, and use venom to poison their prey. Not to mention, they have 8 arms. Record your voice to make an octopus talk about what it's like to be an awesome octopus.
So the kind of introductory video we did all in-house. It was pretty straightforward, but important to introduce the topic to kids in a bite-sized way. And then kids can take their time to explore the other content. They can explore as much or as little as they want. And then they can go in and do the project. This is a project where you would make your octopus talk, and then we can animate the mouth for them. And then in the end, you can share it. And so in terms of, we integrated with really powerful platforms like YouTube and Google Maps. And we designed a way so that kids could explore by different topics, whether it's the world or...
What are you wondering about? Pick a topic.
And then, so let's say you're interested in elephants. You could go into our Talking Elephant project.
Talking elephant. Elephants are massive creatures that are famous for their long trunks and big appetites. They use their trunks to help them eat about 300 pounds of food every day. What do you think it would be like to be an elephant? Record your voice to make an elephant talk about what it's like to be the world's largest land mammal.
And this is examples of like the content that the teachers wrote and also the videos. They can go at their own pace and skip over or dive into different content. And then we'll give them tools to create their talking elephant, whether it's the pictures or other creative tools. I want to show you another one where you're designing a floor plan.
Design a floor plan. Architects draw detailed floor plans of buildings before building them. Draw a floor plan of your house, or take some time to imagine and design the floor plan for a new dream house. When you're done, share with a friend and see what they think.
And then again, more background information if the kid wanted to dive in deeper. And then we'll provide you with a starting point with some templates to get started with, and then at the bottom, there are different tools like you have the door jams and things like that that kids can work with. So really custom content for each project. And we built a system that would enable us to remotely deliver like new stickers, new tools, anytime without an app update. And then we wanted to be able to keep the content fresh. So every day, new projects and new videos come out. And each week we have different themes. So whether it's 1 week we're exploring graphic design, another week it's writing and stories or architecture. We wanted to have a way to keep the content new for the kids every week. And we have a wizard who posts, Wonder Wizard, and so he'll post in the app on the Wonderbox page different things that are related to the theme of the week, the new content. Also, we have a way so that we can post examples of what other kids are making in the app. So sometimes in the morning we'll say, it's National Bird Day today. By 7 p.m. submit.
Special mission out into outer space. Think of what it would be like for you.
That's just so good.
So just examples of, I think what we found in our testing was when kids see what other kids are making, they're inspired to learn about that topic and try their own. So it was really, initially when we started this project, we thought it could all be all about exploration and creation, but it was the sharing piece where we really saw the exploration and learning and taking off. So then in terms of creating, giving kids different tools and ways for them to express themselves. We have everything from, obviously the camera, video, voice recording, and then the custom stickers I was talking about. And the stickers we were thinking of as more as building blocks. So kind of like tangrams or some of those old school, just simple shapes that kids could put together to make their own creations. And then really robust drawing and pattern tools. Here's another example of what a kid.
Hello, I am Weak Screech Quick. And us dolphins are really smart. You want to know a cool thing? We give each other names. Like my mom says, go squeak. And my brother says, anyway, save us. We're awesome. Bye.
So this is the Save the Dolphin poster, and then
Happy Kwanzaa. Umoja means unity. To strive for and maintain unity in the family, community, wings rise to beautiful heights. As they rise into the sky, such a beautiful sight. What are they? They're the northern lights.
So yeah, we've been blown away with what kids are able to create and come up with. Well, I'll show that later. We've been blown away with just what kids come up with when given the tools. And one thing that came up in our testing is originally we thought we could just give them a blank sheet of paper, a blank canvas, which we do. So we give them all the blank tools if they want to do that. But we discovered the importance of scaffolding with these projects and giving them a starting place. So that can take many different forms. So in some of the projects, there are specific questions, whether they be true, false, or interesting fact type questions. Some of them were templates. So what would you do on a desert island? How would you come up with an emergency plan? And we would give them things to think about so that, and we found that the creations were much richer when we did give them these types of templates. And then there were also some where we designed custom tools. This is an example of a math problem where we are talking about area units, and so we'll give them the area units at the bottom, and our area units are cakes and donuts and things like that, but at least the kids have a way to start with that and create. Here's some more examples of, in our lemonade stand design project, we'll have, a template for designing your lemonade stand business plan, different things to think about, as well as actually designing the stand. What are some of the things that you would put together for that? So each of the projects are essentially like a little mini app in and of themselves. You can explore ocean depths, and we'll give you a template for that. When designing a creature, some of them are mythical creature parts that we provided. We also had a different project which was, more around biology and actual reptile parts. So we would they're just different ways of introducing the concepts. And we found that designing and including the intro videos that were a summary of the topic were really important and really got kids to dig in more into the details.
Build a dinosaur. Dinosaurs lived on the Earth over 200 million years ago. Many people believe that they became extinct when an asteroid hit the Earth and the dinosaurs could not adapt to the changes in the environment. Learn more about these dinosaurs, then build your own. Don't forget to give it a name.
And we would give them dinosaur parts to work with, and these are some examples of creations that they could come up with. So with the parts, they were really able to think through things a lot more than just kind of with a blank canvas. You've seen the architectural design one. We had urban design, bicycle design, talking presidents. And so now turning to this core piece of sharing. This was really important to kids. When they create something, they wanted to be able to show it to their teacher, show it to their parent or friends. And so after they've done their creation, we have a way for them to pick who they want to send it to, and then write a message to them. And then when they go into their friends section, it's a standard messaging where they can see everything that they've sent to different friends, and they can write back and forth too. And so we found that this commenting around the different work was really powerful. And then another thing that we realized was we wanted the kids to be able to communicate with the parent. And so the parent can use the Wonderbox app. The family account is designed to be under a parent's email, and then the kids are under that, so we don't rely on the kid having an email. But what we found was that parents typically don't really want to be in another kid app. They are in their email. So we decided that if a kid shares something with their parent, it would go into, we would send them an email with that creation. And we have we send them a digest. And so on the left-hand side, that's the parent's email that they're receiving with the kid's work in it. And then if the parent just responds in their email without the app, they can say, great job, I love your circus chairs there, I love mommy. Then when they send it from their email, on the left-hand side, the kid goes into the app on the right-hand side, goes into their user account, and the parent's message is right there for them in the app. So the kid stays in the app, and the parent, works where they are in the email. And then the kid can again, right back to the parent, and they'll still get it in their email. So the parent has a choice. Yeah.
Can the parents see the project with audio and video too?
Yep. So not right in the email because of all the email clients, but if it has audio in it, you click through and it goes to a website that has their So all of this sharing brought up a lot of issues in terms of privacy, COPPA, all of that. And so I'd say that the design process for supporting family accounts and sharing and all of that took us as much time as it took us to design the whole rest of the other app. So what we really wanted to do, and I'd say this is still, probably was one of the most challenging pieces for us. So because when somebody downloads the app, you want to make it really simple and easy for them to get set up and doing things in the app, but with all the COPPA laws and requirements around that, this was the simplest that we could get it. And this is after hundreds of iterations. So basically what we had to do, and that stop sign there is like literally we're blowing a whistle, telling the kid you have to go get your parent, and then the parent needs to record their voice and say their name. Really what we wanted was to be able to see a picture of the parent, just to know that it's an adult, and hear the voice. Because we needed two inputs, because originally we tried to do it just with audio, and it's actually kind of hard to tell sometimes if people are adults or kids, so with two we felt comfortable. And then in our office, we review every single video that comes in, and we assess whether we think that that could be a parent. That was our best solution that we could come up with, and it's definitely not friction-free, but due to obvious safety concerns and things like that, we felt like that was our choice. As a small company, I have to caveat that there are other ways that you can do COPPA verification. If you're a larger company, like if you're Apple and you already have credit cards and things like that from parents, you can do a quick charge. But we didn't think that parents would want to put in a credit card for a free app from DuckDuckMoose, charge a little bit, even if we refunded it. Plus, it's very expensive for us to be able to do that credit card management. So, it's expensive for us to do this too, but it's less so. And then the other complicating factor why this is not like a regular messaging system for adults is that we wanted to make the friend connections really safe. So it's not like regular Facebook and other social networking where you can go and just find friends. We wanted to ensure that kids could only connect with other kids that they knew in the real world. So they can't go in the app, they can't go browsing and searching for people. So what they need to do is on the playground say, hey, my Wonderbox code is X, give it to their friend. And then their friend will request their friendship. But it's a two-way exchange of codes because we wanted to make sure that somebody couldn't just go guessing at codes and friending kids that way. So again, those two pieces were sort of the most challenging parts of our design. So we're in the process right now of building a classroom version because we got a tremendous response from teachers. And the big difference with the classroom version was that you can still browse all of the projects and teachers can use those projects or they can create their own and send them to students as assignments. And then teachers can view everything all in one place. And so here's a quick demo of our classroom version. This is the teacher account. She can see all of the students. You can browse projects like the other one. And then the difference is this assignments. So you can see everything that you've sent to your students. And then let's say you go into one of them, at this plant life cycle, you can see everything that your students have sent to you in one place. You can also see who hasn't responded. And then the teacher can write students' comments. And then the students will see it in their app. And then if you wanted to create your own project, you could go in and let's say you have your own worksheet, paper worksheet, you can take a picture of it, and then you can send that to your students. So the teacher can write their own title, and they can even tailor the instructions themselves. They can also tailor which students they can send to, so they can do small groups of students, which teachers really liked. And then let's say, I'll go in now as the student, Caitlin. Caitlin sees the projects right there, and then she can go in and do it with the tools.
you have to worry about any copyright issues or anything like that?
I think if the teacher is just sending it and sharing it to her students, it's fine. But for all of our content that we have in, we use the standard Google APIs, and then we also use public domain content, and it's attributed and all of that. So yeah, we're using public domain. And then for the Classroom edition, there's a teacher portal, there's a teacher website where teachers can search by Common Core. We found that they're always trying to find other projects to supplement their lessons, and so being able to search by the Common Core was a key requirement from them. So now I'll wrap up with just like what we've heard, after launching and beta testing the EDU app, like from teachers. It's been really interesting to see how they use it. So some teachers have been using it, they really like the assignments and they like the communication piece. They haven't seen anything that really allows them within the classroom to communicate with projects like this. And this was a funny one. One child wrote and left a sticky note on their teacher's laptop, urgent, don't forget Wonderbox. That's a good sign. And then, yeah, it's just been being able to share projects with each other and have a conversation about the different projects has been really the crux of it. This is a really innovative teacher where she had kids use Wonderbox to create their own word problems and then send them to a friend. So they're paired up, and then the friend would respond to the word problem, and then they could have a conversation about it. Or another, on the right-hand side, the kids had to take a video and show a certain amount of money. And then the other kid had to send their version back, but with a different configuration of coins. So really interesting ways that kids can be involved. And yep, it's gotten good press and critical acclaim, even though we don't have a PR firm or marketing. And I think, from our team's perspective, what we've enjoyed the most is just hearing from the kids what they've liked about Wonderbox and really seeing what they can create. So much design thinking. They've created their own apps, their own app icons, their own products. Earth Week was a couple weeks ago. They created greenhouses and their own recycling ideas. Game design is a popular one, and not always just digital game design, kind of board game design. Architecture. I am a former architect in a past life, so a lot of the projects are kind of bent based on my personal interests too. But we've given them ways to do 3D as well as learning how to do plans and elevations and things like that. Self-portraits are really interesting. Different cultures. So we have a whole section on world and different countries and cultures, different people. And then the writing. We have we weren't expecting kids to write this much in the app, although, we now have a writing tool and we're working on additional ways for them to create books, multi-page books and things like that. But there's a lot of writing going on, whether it's a pet diary or just writing about the middle one on the bottom. It's all about Harry Potter, their personal passions. And then doing things to inspire others. So encouraging other people, Teacher Appreciation Day, or working for a cause. And then, of course, drawing. And then, we love the Wonder Wizard love. We have a teacher who's actually our Wonder Wizard, and I think she just lives for this. So I think I'll just wrap up with this quote. Tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn. That was from Benjamin. Thanks. I'm happy to take any questions.
I think you figured out how to make products that are your kids' age.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, that's Kelly's observation.
Yeah, you're on to me. So
we're on to you.
They're 8 and 10 now, so this was the offering for them.
If a kid put a thing about a presidential candidate up that would be controversial, how would you handle that?
I would just ask them to ask their friends what they think too.
Would that be? Well, I noticed Barack Obama was up there with, and they sort of did things to his face, and I could see with the current election. Have you censored?
No, so it's not an open platform.
So only their family can see it.
Right, so only the family and friends that they know, that they've exchanged the codes with both ways can see their things. So it's it's not like they can post it and it's public.
Do you have to, if a parent saw something their kid put up, would you intervene?
If a parent asks us to take it down.
Yeah.
So parents can, and kids can take down their.
They can take down their own. So you'd say, take care of your own kid, silly parent.
And we do notify parents also when things are deleted, just so that parents are aware, like what's going in and out.
Cameras are on, but we can turn them off if you like. Are you making money?
This is a free app, so no.
Well, how the heck does that work, by gosh?
Wow.
So what we were aiming to do with this app was really to get engagement, test, really get it, get the kids engaged, teachers engaged, and families engaged, and go for the growth. And then we were thinking of having premium content and different partnerships as we've built up our base. But it's an extremely challenging market. We moved from paid into free in the last couple of years, and we've done free just because we wanted to try to see, obviously the eyeballs are shifting there. We wanted to see if a great app in the free space would work, and I'd say we're still testing and iterating, and we'll let you know.
I had to ask the 900-pound question, the real question, but yeah.
Karen, thank you for this. This is awesome, and the experience seems awesome as well. And I think the only friction point I wanted to kind of ask about that is, it seems like there's a friction point of parents giving permissions for them and whatnot. And do you see like even with the picture and the voice, do you feel like that's a big deal? Like, do you see a huge drop off, or if so, or if not, awesome. If so, like, how do you guys address that?
Yeah, so that is the biggest point of challenge for our app and its growth, is the parental permission and approval. Because parents don't understand it. We have to do it because of COPPA to be able to have kids share. There's no other choice, really. So we'll continue to iterate on the design, but I'm not confident that there's a way that we can make it so that it's frictionless. We've experimented with everything. We've talked to experts, everything. So that is a big challenge just for any app for children under 13. Yeah. So, and there's also a lot of parental confusion around it. It's like, we're trying to do the right thing, as we know that we're in the industry, we know the COPPA laws, but because parents don't understand that, they don't expect it, because Facebook and Pinterest and other social apps don't have that because they're not targeted at kids. And so they're like, wow, that's creepy. You guys are asking me for a video, and we're asking for the video so that we can check that there's an adult involved. So it's very challenging, and I don't have an answer. If anyone does, let me know.
Oh, yeah, another question. Follow up.
My question is about the volume of submissions that you get from kids and sort of the ratio of usable to not so usable content. I know it's a real pain point to manage user-generated content, and it would really be interesting to know, just the volume overall and then what's usable.
Yeah, so the kids are sharing with their parents and friends, and we don't see all of that. We only see it when they are submitting it to the wizard for a special project or something like that. So we have a great volume of that, but those are specific things when the kids are wanting to share that with us. And so of those, we have the teacher who's also the Wonder Wizard going through those every day, and we have a way to just go through the stream. So I think that's how we can search by different projects so that we can pick the one from the day that's most interesting to us. But we're not constantly going through it all, and we're kind of, each day we're probably highlighting one or two pieces of work on a specific project.
So we hear from several people that parents often ask for dashboards, but they never use them. And your system is different. So I'd like to know what kind of parent involvement, parent engagement you're actually getting.
Yeah, so this is really interesting for us, because absolutely with our Moose Math and Pet Bingo, some of the curriculum apps that we had parents ask us for dashboards, and we built it all and had sort of how kids are doing. Nobody used those dashboards. This is not really a dashboard as much as it is communication with your own child. So when the parent receives something from a child and it comes from their child's name. So each kid has a unique Wonderbox email essentially, and nobody else can send that email back because we check that it's actually coming from the parent, otherwise we block it. But the parents, if it's something that the kid has drawn, created, it's their own photo or something like that, parents will respond. It's really motivating for parents, so they're really involved. It's like that in our testing, we really found like one challenge was kids really like to create things with building blocks, like the scaffolding I was talking about with a lot of stickers and parts and things like that. But sometimes when a parent sees that work, they're a little bit less interested than if they see something that's like personal for their kid. Even though the kid has really made that, they don't really understand the app as well as, but they like things that are personal, the kid's voice, their drawing, you know.
I had a second part, which is you were saying that the parents spend all their time in email. Are you finding any parents actually wanting to use the app in order to communicate with the kids?
Yeah, we have some parents that are using the app. I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but it's the vast majority are using it from email because that's where they're already checking their email. So then when they get it in their email, and the fact that they can respond from their email is a key thing.
I know that the concept of social media on training wheels has a lot of validity. Kids are really eager to doing that, and I know that I would trust Carolyn to run service for my kids, and I feel very safe about it. I happen to know her. But maybe that's one of my pieces of advice is put you in it, because I think you and your team are the greatest strengths. And there's so many people out here setting up services, and trust is so important. The other thing I would like to complain about with Wonderbox is that I spent about 8 hours reviewing it because all the videos were so interesting. And I was like, it's going to be, it's one of those quick reviews. Oh man, this is amazing. I did marching bands, I think. I looked at some of the...
Of course you did marching bands.
Yeah, right? And it's like, you found all this incredible, very carefully curated video content of the Ohio State Marching Band doing some cool stuff and on Wonderbox. And so it really is a Wonderbox. And I think that, with time, I think it'll be successful. So I hope it is, and I hope that, thanks for sharing this. For me to share today. One more round for the dog.